know I haven't posted up in a while, but I just wanted to show y'all what I'm gonna be doing tonight. This is a stock 17-inch rim off of my car, and it got the TPMS sensors in it. So whenever I got my 20s, and after I drive for a bit, my TPMS light comes on. It lets me know that I got like a flat tire or something, so it thinks. But I don't got this TPMS sensors in my 20s because they're pretty expensive, especially for Hyundais. So what I'm gonna do is let the pressure out of here, take the TPMS sensors out, and then I'm gonna try to eventually put them inside of my 20s. But for the meantime, I'm gonna try to put them in like probably like the spare tire or something, just so it has pressure in there. Kind of tricks the sensors into thinking that it got pressure at all times. So this is the first tire that I'm gonna do it to. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take out all the air out of the tire through the valve stem. After I take out all the air out of the valve stem, out of the tire, and then I'm gonna see if I could somehow try to break the bead and then get something right in here, like wedged in there, so I could get a tool in there and take off the TPMS sensor. And then after we got all four out, hopefully we could even do one. But after we got all four out, we could see if we could put them inside of something that's pressurized, or maybe inside the spare tire. Cause I don't really use the spare tire, so that would probably be like just sitting there in the trunk, and I could use one of my other stocks that I got. Cause this is my stocks that came on my car, the original stocks. They're not curb brushed or nothing. They're just dirty. As you can tell, it's just like from mud and stuff. But I got some stock rim, or some other stock rims that's a little bit different design than this. But if anything, I'll use a full size spare on my car if I ever got a flat. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to get the air taken out of this. Then after I get the air taken out of this, we'll just go from there. Okay, let's get started. And this is a little tool that you could just stick right there and you undo it. And as you can hear, the air's coming out, slowly leaking out. And then whenever you can feel that the tire is actually flat, then you could take out the valve stem completely and set it off to the side and make sure you don't lose it. But as the air starts coming out and stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and sit y'all down, and then I'll come back to y'all whenever the tire's flat. Okay everybody, I let all the air out of the tire, and now I kind of ran into some type of problem. I thought it was going to be kind of easy to push down the bead, to break the bead by foot or something by stepping on it, and that didn't seem to work out. So what I went ahead and did is laid the tire over here by the fence, and then the fence line is kind of, like this. So I put the jack right here, right under the fence, and then the bottom of the jack right there where the tire goes, and I'm going to slowly crank it up and see if that be on there a little bit loosely, and I'll hopefully be able to get some type of block in here wide enough so I could put the tool in there to take the TPMS sensor off. I'm tired of like having the tire pressure monitoring system light come on and just always constantly telling me that I have flat tires. And then on the Hyundais, if you have all four sensors not on the car, whenever you're going down the highway and stuff, the gauge automatically goes down to 0. Like it'll say you're going 0 miles per hour, even though you're going like highway speeds. You'll be going on the highway and you have no idea how fast you're going unless you're paying attention to how fast you're going before. But I noticed that it's mainly after you hit like 45 miles per hour, about 5 minutes on any highway, then it would really start showing you that you're going 0, even whenever you switch it onto different settings, so you could see
the analog gauge telling you how fast you're going. That'd even say you're going 0, but your RPMs were still up. But I'm really tired of that happening, and it's no fun. So traveling and not having TPMS sensors, it really don't go hand in hand. So hopefully this could just get rid of the light, and I don't have the pain no more of having to deal with constantly having the TPMS light start messing with my car while I'm driving out on the highway, because you know it's not really safe. But I have noticed if you turn off the car and you turn it back on, it'll start working again, but the TPMS light stays on. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if this works, and if it does, I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing it, and I'm gonna show y'all this first one as I do it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all how I was doing it. I'm using one of these old style jacks that go underneath the bumper. This jack actually came with this car. It's more old school, you know. I haven't got the original handle, so I'm just using this big ass drill bit. But I went ahead and put the jack right there, start jacking it up, and as you can tell, it starts pushing the tire off the bead. And you just do that all the way around, and as you just work yourself around, eventually the tire will pop off. And you just do this right there as close as you could to the tire pressure sensor without actually hitting it. You could double check just so you make sure you don't mess up your sensor. And you just keep doing that, jack it up just to make the space like this. Put a block of wood in there, and after you put the block of wood in there, you could go ahead and let the jack down and take your tire wherever you need to and start wrenching off the tire pressure sensor. But yeah, just a quick tip, because that one jack at home, it wasn't really working, it wasn't doing it. But you need a lot of weight, a lot of pressure, and basically something like this style, they put a lot of area on the tire. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one, and I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna do the second one. Alright everybody, I used the jack to break the bead all the way around, but see, this right here is actually like right in here that holds the tire pressure sensor on. It holds it in place. It goes in there just like that. But instead of having a Torx bit, if you don't got a Torx bit, you could use an Allen wrench as long as it's the correct size. And when you're facing the rim like this, you stick the Allen wrench on here onto the screw, and you turn it that way to break it off. But I got a piece of wood in here just to kind of prop it open. But now that I got the tire pressure sensor loose, you pull straight back that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. It should slide right off. You shouldn't have to wiggle it much. And that's the TPMS sensor right there. And I've seen people put them in pressurized containers and all kinds of other stuff that they make for them. But instead of doing all that, I'm just going to go ahead and try to throw them in the spare tire and put the spare tire back at the car, and all of them should read the same PSI, and it should more or less just trick the TPMS monitoring system that all the tires are aired up and they're all good. But eventually I'm going to get them put on my 20s on the car. So yeah, they came off just like this. That's what they look like. And I guess that little hole right there is where it reads the pressure. The air probably goes in there and pressurizes this little thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, I got this one off. This is the left front. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do the rest of them. Hopefully I don't get too late. It's already 2 o'clock in the morning. But when ain't it? Alright, stay tuned guys. Okay everybody, I went ahead and got all of the tires done the same way. I did the same thing to all 4 of my tires and took out the TPMS sensors out of all 4 of the tires. And you know, this is the inside of my trunk. I got the wood floor in here, as y'all seen from the previous videos. So what I did was I went ahead and let me lift this carpet up for y'all so I can show y'all. There's the Apex Audio sound deadener, but if I could get y'all in there far enough, I could show y'all the spare tire, you know, is down there in its original spot. But what I went ahead and did is took out all 4 of the TPMS sensors, and then I put them inside the spare tire, just like how I told y'all. I broke the bead on the tire the same way, and then I went and took it to a shop and had them pop the bead back on. So all 4 of the TPMS sensors are inside the spare tire, and they all read the same. And as soon as I rolled the tire back to the car, the TPMS light turned off. So now I know that fixed the problem that I was having. Even with all that sound deadener, you know, it's real thick, and I thought it would block the signal from the TPMS sensors and stuff, and it wasn't even a problem. But after I did that, I went for a cruise, and it read all the tire pressures. Well, it thinks it's reading all the tire pressure, but all of the sensors are reading the same thing. So that really took care of the problem that I was having. So yeah, I got them right there to the spare tire well where the spare tire belongs, and I could go ahead and show y'all that the light turned off from my TPMS telling me that I have a flat tire. So I'll go ahead and show y'all that now. Okay, so that's just an accessory. I got the key turned to accessory, and then all those, like the check engine light and the oil and the battery, those, you know, they usually come on unless you start the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the car. So I went ahead and started the car. I'm gonna go ahead and close the back door real quick. I'm gonna close the front door. So yeah, it says my range, how far I could go with the amount of gas that I got. My average gas mileage. It says how cold it is. It says how many miles I got right there next to it also. I push the button to go through the menu. It says tire pressure, drive to display. See, before it wouldn't even say drive to display. It wouldn't even bring me up the option. But after a while of driving, it'll bring up that I got flat tires and stuff. And it was just really aggravating because I'd always have a orange light up here in the top, and then I have a flat tire mark light that was on right here on the bottom. So after I got all the tire pressure sensors taken out of the stock tires and I put them into the spare tire, that just really took care of my problem that I was having. But the only thing is it takes away the functionality of the car telling me what my actual my tire pressure is in each one of my tires. But I'm usually pretty good at keeping up with it. I always keep an eye on my tire pressure. I always check my tires before I go anywhere, no matter if it's during the day or during the night. And I always make sure with the little gauge that I got just one of these from Discount. They usually give them to you for free. They got a whole bunch of them at the front desk. And if you know how to use one of these, you'll be doing all right. So yeah, that little trick that I did, it just tricks the system into thinking that I have the sensors in all 4 tires. And you know, as I drive, then it tells me how much PSI. For the spare tire, it got about 60 PSI, but I dropped it down a little bit below that, so it got around 50, 55 PSI in the tires at all times. And you know, the temperatures always makes the tire pressure fluctuate. It's not always going to be at a stuck PSI that, you know, you set it at or whatever, because during the day it's hot, the tire pressure builds up, and whenever it gets cool, you know, the tire pressure goes down. And that's just the way it does it. It does it on all cars, no matter what. But yeah, that took off the tire light, so now I don't gotta have to deal with that tire pressure light no more. And right there, where it used to tell me on this gauge how fast I'm going, it used to tell me how fast I'm going, like on highway speeds. But then after about, I say about a mile with the lights being on, it drops it all the way back down to 0 and tells me I'm actually going 0 miles per hour whenever I'm actually going highway speeds, as I was saying before. But my RPMs, they'll stay working. They'll always be up, you know, around however much it usually is. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not gonna speak on that too much. But now it don't tell me that. It just continues telling me how fast I'm going. I feel a lot safer on the roads and stuff. But eventually, like I told y'all before, I'm gonna get the TPMS sensors taken out of the spare tire. You know, this was just a temporary solution. They're only gonna be in there temporarily, and after a bit, I'm gonna take them out and put them into my tires on my car right now. But as of now, you know, I don't got a use for my spare tire, and if I ever do get a flat, I got all these sets of stocks, and I usually don't like riding around with one rim different than the other, so I might just switch them back out to all stocks if I ever get a flat on one tire until I get the tire replaced or fixed or whatever, so on and so on. But this ain't more or less a how-to. This is just tips, and you know, you could just do this at your own risk. I'm not liable for anything that you do, because you can possibly ruin your rim, you could possibly ruin your tire, you can possibly break your TPMS sensors, and you can possibly get flats out on the highway, and so on, you know. And it's just the name of the game. I'm doing this at my own risk, and well, like I said, I got new tires on my car on the 20s. They're new tires all the way around, and even then I still always check my TPMS. Well, not my TPMS. I always check my tire pressure on all 4 of my tires before I go anywhere. If the tires ever look low or anything like that, I always go to like Discount Tire, where they have the machine to set all the tire pressures evenly and everything else. So there's never a problem with any of that. Well, as far as I've, you know, experienced. But it was just mainly that light right there that kept coming on and kept messing with my miles per hour, and it was just, you know, all around dangerous. Sometimes I'd have to pull over just to stop and turn off the car, turn it back on, and then it would continue telling me that I have that tire pressure fault in the monitoring system. But there was really no fault. It was just that it wasn't reading any of the little sensors that goes in the rims, the TPMS sensors. But anyways, yeah guys, just do this at your own risk. If you don't feel comfortable doing this to your car or anything, just don't do it, because you know, it can lead to other problems and stuff. But that's on you if you choose to do it this way. And I already know the consequences that comes with doing it this way to my own vehicle. But this is just how I'm doing this, not a how-to. So I was just showing y'all what I was up to, and just this little, I don't know if you want to call it a mod. It's not a mod really. It's just what I'm going through, just what I've been up to with my car, and how I took care of a certain problem with my vehicle. Your vehicle may be different. It may not work for your car. It may work for your car. Who knows? Like, I don't know what your vehicle is. I don't know what your situation is, but it's probably 50% different, maybe even 100% different than whatever I'm going through. But this is just my temporary solution until I could get the tire pressure sensors put inside my rims. And for me, I feel like this might be okay for, like, if I always switch out different rims and I don't got enough sensors for all my rims, it'll be okay in my case for me to keep the TPMS sensors in the spare tire, so I could switch out whichever stocks I want to from the 20s or anything else. So if I ever do take off the 20s, I could put some stocks on, and it's still going to read the same. It's not going to mess with the car whatsoever, except for, you know, the driving. You know, each set of rims comes with its own variables on how it drives, on how it handles, and so on and so on. Okay guys, yeah, that just took care of my tire pressure monitoring light, and it don't no longer tell me that I got flat tires or anything. So if it ever does tell me anything, All I got to do is just put a little bit of air inside of the spare tire to up the pressure or lower the pressure, you know, whatever I need to. But yeah, guys, this is the end of this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and please hit the bell notification for future uploads. And that'll be all. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.